Zoan fruits are changing the narrative of One Piece as well as our general understanding of One Piece power levels even right now as we speak. The view of the fanbase on Zoan devil fruits shifted massively throughout the course of this long running series. We are going to dissect how the perspective changed throughout the years and also why it is a big thing going forward when reading One Piece. At the beginning of the story, Zoan devil fruits were pretty rarely encountered. The first Zoan we were ever introduced to as being from the Zoan type was the Ox fruit model Bison, used by Dalton on Drum Island in chapter 135. Which is quite a long time for one of the three pillars of devil fruits, Logia, Paramecia and so on, to show up. Also, when we heard about these fruits, we got the explanation that the Zoan type user has the ability to turn into the animal of which their fruit is based on. They normally have access to a human or original form, whatever they were before consumption, an animal form and a hybrid form, where they mix between what they were originally and the type of the devil fruit. At this point in the story, these fruits were regarded as relatively weak. Yes, obviously they had some nice benefits, but those are mostly bound to just increasing your speed, strength and durability, so all things you could naturally also enhance without the fruit. A great use case we learned in the same arc as they first appeared in though was from our beloved Tony Chopper, who was a normal reindeer who ate the human fruit, which also granted him the ability to speak, which is a very powerful ability. And from this point forward, whenever we saw a Zoan type fruit, we always expected it to enhance physical capabilities, but also sometimes grant a nice extra bonus ability inherited by the animal it originated from. Examples for this are Pell, who gained the ability to fly, Jabra, who got sharp claws, or Kaku, who can extend his neck. So all great things, but never something that catapults a fighter into a new tier just through the power of the fruit. The next big revelation in regards to Zoan types was in Alabasta in chapter 160, when we encountered the character Lasso, which is a gun that consumed the Mut fruit model Dachshund. This is more than just a pretty funny joke. We learned about the fact that inanimate objects could eat a devil fruit. We later saw this concept again in Eni's lobby with the sword of Spandam. The sword named Funkfree ate the elephant fruit, and the readers definitely wondered how this was even possible. We got two explanations in the story. First off, this was only possible through the great mastermind Dr. Vegapunk, who is the best scientist in the world of One Piece. What we also learned is that Zoan devil fruits seem to have a will of their own. Hence why an object without a soul can suddenly act like a creature, because the will of the devil fruit is now what controls the object. While this is very interesting, it did not really change the reader's outlook on how powerful a Zoan could be. The next change in perceived power level that came in the story was in chapter 509, so way later into the story. By the appearance of X-Drake and his devil fruit, Dragon fruit model Allosaurus, which was the first ever ancient Zoan type devil fruit we saw. So now we knew even extinct creatures could be a devil fruit, and dinosaurs have a lot more power output because of their sheer size. And while this was a power upgrade for these types of fruits, it again only affected their physical capabilities, so it had the exact same problem that normal Zoans had up to this point. The biggest, most impactful change in the narrative of the Zoan fruits was revealed in the chapter 553 with the first use of the bird fruit model Phoenix, ate by Mako, the first commander of the Whitebeard pirates. This reveal changed everything, because this was the first mythical Zoan type devil fruit. The fact that a Zoan type could be coming from a mythical creature opened Pandora's box. Mako did not just enhance his physical capabilities and gaining the ability of flight by eating this fruit. He also gained fire powers as well as incredible healing abilities. Only 18 chapters later, we saw the next mythical Zoan revealed, the human fruit, model Buddha, which in and of itself was again a crazy revelation for the fanbase. Even though we could not yet know how big this would really be, we now experienced that even a deity could be inside of a devil fruit. This is the point in the story where everything shifted. We understood the potential of Zoan fruits, even though we did not yet understand the gravity of what we just witnessed, especially because we were told how unbelievably rare those fruits seemed to be. Before coming to the most important point of this video, I want to briefly mention that Zoan types were always regarded as a bit weaker, which is why from a narrative standpoint the Wano Kuni arc made total and complete sense. The premise of the Beast Pirates, led by the Emperor Kaido, in which so many of his crewmates will gain devil fruit powers, was only possible because of the seemingly endless Zoan type fruits Oda could dish out. Making a Zoan model for all types of animals alone is a ridiculous amount, but even with so many members being fruit users, it would not be too strong because they mostly only enhanced physical abilities. Zoans were also the only fruits that were created as smile fruits, just something to mention. So now, why are Zoans so important? More important than ever. And how did that change One Piece? When discussing One Piece, or any work of fiction for that matter, it is always very helpful to view it from the perspective of the work's creator. When Oda first started One Piece, he did not know how long it will last, and he changes things around pretty frequently. But he has unparalleled skill as a writer. When coming up with the system for One Piece world, the Devil Fruits, it was an inevitability that at some point, creating new powers will become harder and harder. You only have one Ice Devil Fruit, one Soul Fruit, one Fire Fruit. You can make multiple fruits based on fire powers, for example, like Heat, Magma, Fire and so on. But at some point, the most well-known powers will become scarce. Paramecias were a great idea. Whatever you can think of as a power, just put it in this category. But there is a reason, even in community contests of inventing new devil fruits, the same ones often repeat. But here comes in the fact why Zoans are so important and powerful. For the last 200 something chapters, there was a massive dump of mythical devil fruits being revealed. We are also getting into spoiler territory now. If you are not up to the story, so be aware. When Oda as a writer wants to give a character abnormal abilities, he can basically give this character a Zoan fruit from any mythical creature that can create said element or has that specific power he's looking for. Do you need a fire fruit user if you are a fire-spitting dragon that also is gigantic and causes hurricanes? Since the start of the Wano Kuni arc, we were introduced to 12 mythical Zoan type devil fruit transformations, compared to only 2 that we knew before. We got to know Onimaru, Orochi, Yamato, Kaido, Katarina Devon, Stronger, as well as 2 story-altering new events being shown. One that the main character of the series is in actuality a mythical Zoan deity himself, and that the 5 elder planets ruling the world government also being some mythical beasts of some sort, even though their complete history is yet to be shown. I will tell you right now that from this point forward, most characters that will be newly introduced to the story that are immensely powerful devil fruit users will very likely have a mythical Zoan type ability. Zoans were the absolute underdogs going into this series, but right now they seem to be the pinnacle of power. A Zoan type can have physical strength increases, healing abilities, special properties like flight, kinesis or anything else really, as well as having elemental abilities. The only thing we have never seen a Zoan do that other devil fruits could also do is turning into an element completely, like a Logia. But we have seen instances where Zoan users did the same as special Paramecias like Katakuri or Magellan, with changing their body basically to an element. Luffy being made out of rubber the same way Katakuri is made out of mochi, and Kaido coating his complete and full body with magma like Magellan could with poison. Obviously, there are a lot of Paramecia abilities that have never been shown by mythical Zoans. But if the mythical creature Oda uses for the Zoan has that specific ability, it bypasses the need for the Paramecia. We have seen this before with Katarina Devon's ability being able to produce the same effect of copying someone's appearance, like we have seen Bon Clay use with his clone fruit, just to clarify. We talked a lot about the history of Zoan fruits, that's why I also wanted to mention that there is one mysterious aspect about Zoan fruits that we are yet to fully discover. We were told by Dr. Vegapunk that Zoan fruit awakenings cause the user to often lose part of their personality. This will get especially interesting when we know more about the Gorosei and Imu, the ruler of the One Piece world, who could very well also be a mythical Zoan. So you see that Zoans are staying very relevant right now. And the more we know about them, the more they seem to change the course of the story. And there's one last thing I just want to briefly mention, because I feel like this video would be incomplete without it. Something that was never officially stated, but we see it all the time, are the white or black tinted clouds that we see behind awakened Zoan users. The only inconsistency regarding this is that we were told that the jailer beasts in Impel Down are actually awakened Zoan users, but we never saw the cloud we always see with awakened users when they were shown. This could be an understandable inconsistency because they were the first awakened Zoans in the story and Oda maybe did not have the concept fleshed out yet. But it could also have other reasons. like they were only in their normal forms, even though I think from a narrative standpoint it was not presented like that. But this could also be on purpose, because we have never heard any explanation about these clouds. So that's just something I needed to include in case this gets more importance later in the story. You now got the history of Zoan fruits and how they changed the narrative of One Piece. There are even bigger implications that can be made based on this analysis, with the character of Luffy for example. If you want to watch a video talking about some of those aspects, here you go. Also be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as well as the bell to not miss the next video. Thank you all for watching, peace!